So today our main thing is going to be putting in the first post to our fence, yay! And pruning the laurel back so that we can run a fence line through the front. You know you live in rural country when. So these posts here that that my husband started to cut, they are actually old telephone poles that we got from the telephone company when they replaced them a couple years ago. Unfortunately, they are hollowed out through a big portion of the way, at least partially. We had hoped that we might get 6 to 8 posts out of this, but it looks like we're gonna get 3. But 3 is definitely better than none. And what do we have here? We have some sort of little frog. I'm not sure what type. I am not familiar with the different kinds of frogs at all. I did look it up. I think he might be a cascade frog, but I'm not entirely certain. So here I'm just tying some string around this corner post because we're going to try to align the first fence post that we're putting in with this one. Trying is the key word here. This is the first time we're letting the animals out into the pasture since like.
Well, you win.
I win. It's Amaret because she's the smartest. She's smarter than the goats. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I love my sheep. The goats. Eh. Are you so happy, Amaret? I gotta go to town. Are you so happy to be out? Somewhere in this mess is a hole where we're gonna drill the post. So we're just trying to line up where we're drilling and drilling the holes to put in the post. Digging, and digging some more. These telephone poles are quite huge. They're much more wider than an average wooden post you'd buy at the farm store. 11.5 inches across. And now I am measuring 2 feet from the end and spray painting that so we can see how far this post needs to go on the ground because we want to we want to put the post in the ground 2 feet deep. The lilac trees that we moved and transplanted back in the beginning of January look like they're all alive. The leaves are starting to come out. This post is so heavy that unfortunately I am not able to help my husband move it and get it into the ground, so he is using the handy dandy tractor. Sadly, the hole was not deep enough, so we had to dig some more. The moment of truth. We're not still up to the mark yet. Like how bad we're getting. Whoa.
I think I just need to keep pushing.
What was it my dad used to say? So close, but yet no cigar. 3rd time is a charm. Well, one down. Our first fence post. They're not all going to be this big. We're only making the corners this big. The rest will only be about half this size. So I didn't record us shoveling it in because I forgot to bring my phone stand and I was actually working shoveling, so yay. We barely got that one in time. Well, the wind is starting. We are about to deal with thunderstorms and our tornado watch, so gonna go get inside. Well, that's a pleasant surprise. My husband mowed the lawn. And oh my goodness, Hyacinth Alley smells so wonderful. Wish there was smell-o-vision. We're just gonna scan this front bed. You can see where all the hyacinths are blooming, and I can tell where I need to plant more, which I thought I did plant some in here, but maybe it just doesn't like that area right in there. Because I was pretty sure I planted all the way across. But anyway, it smells so wonderful out here. Hyacinths smell good, despite the fact that they make my skin itch when touching them. But they're just so pretty. Love them. And for the most part, the moles and squirrels leave them alone. So that's a plus. It appears I do have one daffodil blooming. Point it down. Let me see if I can point it to the camera without busting it. Look how pretty that is. There's some sort of ant or something on it. Yep. So pretty though. The daffodils here have not quite popped up yet. They have popped up out in the circle garden though. So let's go take a look before they're done. Look at these. These are all from last year. I did not pop any new ones out this year. And as a matter of fact, we disturbed this area so much last year when we were amending and reworking the beds. I wasn't sure any of them was going to pop back up, but quite a few of them have. So I will probably order more of these maybe next year. They're from Color Blends. I don't remember the name of this one. And some of the squill popped back up, but not as much as I had hoped. This little blue flower, there's a bunch of squill. I had some white with blue striped on them. Not as many popped up, but they didn't pop up completely well to begin with. There's a few more over here. There's the lighter blue. It's basically white with a blue stripe in it. I had them planted all along the strip of the border on both of these, but we did disturb it quite a bit last year, so I'm not too surprised. Unfortunately, these have already started to flower, even though it's still early spring.
We still have the other half. I'm not worried about them.
I'm not either. They're going to grow back. It just...
Oh, these things stink.
So burning's out of the question? So one of the reasons I mentioned that it's unfortunate it started blooming is because technically with laurels, you should not prune them. When they are blooming, you shouldn't really prune any plants when they're blooming. Deadheading, yes, but pruning, no. You should technically, on a shrub, laurel shrub this size, you should prune after they're done blooming. So that would be like late spring, early summer when this gets done blooming. With a younger laurel, it's actually good to prune it in late winter, right before they get their new growth happening. And this is not either one of those times. It's early spring, right? It's starting to form the buds. So we will definitely not get any buds or flowers on this side of the shrub this year. My husband said he wasn't too worried about it because it's just as big on the other half, on the other side, as it is on this side. And so we probably won't be killing this plant. It's kind of hard to kill a laurel. As a matter of fact, in our area, laurels can be invasive. Not so much the cherry laurels, but more the English laurels and the ship laurels. But these will be okay. I just hope they start blooming out in another couple years, and they'll probably be just fine. It won't be the worst thing if these actually don't make it. I didn't plant these. My mother-in-law did, and the only reason we're not taking them out because they actually are a great hedge, and we want wind blocked and a little bit more privacy right here in this area. And so anyway, that's why we're keeping them. We don't want to have to wait several years for another type of shrub to get as big as these laurels have. But we have to prune them now because we are putting the deer fence in front of this, and we had to prune them back quite a ways so we have room to work in front of these laurels to put the fence up. So that is why we're doing it. Do not do what I do. Technically, not only should you be pruning after these guys bloom, but you should be a little bit more specific, kind of like I did with the roses and the hydrangeas. You're supposed to prune about 1/4 of an inch above the buds on these laurels. So We're not doing that here. I asked my husband about that. He's just like, I don't care. Let's just get it done. Just chop, 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 chop. So we shall see what these end up looking like in another year or two. But they're laurels. They're hard to kill. They'll probably be just fine. And I will fertilize them here in a couple days later. So when it starts to rain again, I'll fertilize them. Well, now it kind of just looks like one big hot mess. We'll come back and clean it up a little bit better tomorrow. We think we've got enough cleared out that we can put up the fence line. We're exhausted, so we're going to call it a day. Thanks for watching. And until next time, feed the pollinators for me.